I'm not sure why I'm writing this down on paper and not on my computer. I guess I've just noticed some odd things. It's not that I don't trust the computer. I just need to organize my thoughts. I need to get down all the details somewhere that I know I can write and can't be deleted or changed. Not that that's happened, it's just everything blurs together here and I'm starting to feel cramped in this small apartment. I'm not sure when I first started to feel like something was odd. Maybe I just haven't talked to anyone in a while. Everyone I normally talk to online while I program has been idle, or they've simply not logged on at all. My IMs go unanswered. The last email I got from anybody was a friend saying he'd talk to me when he got back from the store, and that was yesterday. I'd call with my cell phone, but reception's terrible down here. Yeah, that's it. I just need to call someone. I'm going outside. Well, that didn't work so well. I'm feeling a little ridiculous for being scared at all. I looked in the mirror before I went out, but I forgot to shave my 2-day scruff. I figured I was just going out for a quick call. I did change my shirt though, because it was lunchtime, and I guessed that I'd run into at least one person I knew. That didn't end up happening. I wish it did. When I went out, I opened the door slowly. I had a feeling of apprehension, but I didn't know why. I figured it was because of having not spoken to anyone but myself for a day or two. I looked through the window. City gloom hung over the dark street outside, and dim clouds hung overhead. I remember shivering, though I wasn't cold. Maybe it was the wind outside. I could sort of hear it through the door, and I knew it was that unique kind of evening wind. The cold and quiet kind. I lifted my cell phone up to the door's little window and checked the signal meter. I smiled when I saw the signal bars fill up. I hit speed dial for my best friend Amy's number, and it rang once, but then it stopped. I went to dial her number again, but then my phone rang in my hand, startling me. Hello?
Hey, who's this?
John.
Oh, sorry. Wrong number.
I lowered the phone slowly and looked at the unfamiliar number. Before I could keep thinking about it, the phone rang loudly, startling me again. This time, I looked at the caller before I answered. It was another unfamiliar number. I heard nothing but the general background noise of a phone.
John?
Hey, it's you.
Who else would it be? The number. I'm at a party on 7th Street and my phone died right when you called me. This is someone else's phone, obviously.
Oh, okay.
Where are you?
At my building. I didn't realize it was so late.
You should come here.
No, I don't feel like looking for some stranger's house. I think I'm just going to keep working or go to bed.
What? I can come get you. Your building is close to 7th, right?
How drunk are you? You know where I live.
Oh, of course. I can get there by walking, huh?
You could if you wanted to waste half an hour.
Right. Okay, I have to go. Good luck with your work.
The two strange calls in the eerie street outside just drove home my aloneness in this empty stairwell. I knew other people lived here, so why hadn't I ever seen them? After having seen too many scary movies, I had the idea that something could look in and see me. I knew the fear was irrational. It had to be. I wasn't accomplishing anything up here, so I went back to my room and closed the door as quickly as I could while staying silent. Like I said, I feel a little ridiculous for being scared of nothing, and the fear has already faded. Writing this down helps a lot. It makes me realize that nothing's wrong. It filters out half-formed thoughts and leaves only the facts. It's late. I got a call from a wrong number and Amy's phone died, so she called me back from another number. Nothing strange is happening. Still, there was something a little off about that conversation. I know it could have been just the alcohol she'd had. Or was it her that seemed off to me? Or was it... yeah, that was it! I didn't realize it until now. I knew writing things down would help. She said she was at a party, but I only heard silence in the background. Of course, that doesn't mean anything in particular. She could have gone outside to make the call. No, that couldn't be it either. I didn't hear the wind. I need to see if the wind is still blowing. I forgot to finish writing this last night. I'm not sure what I expected to see when I went up the stairwell. I'm feeling ridiculous. Last night's fear seems unreasonable to me now. I can't wait to go out in the sunlight. I'm going to check my email, shave, shower, and finally get out of here. Wait, I think I heard something. That whole sunlight and fresh air thing didn't happen. I went further up the stairs to the second floor only to find a gray, sickly, wet day. The clouds were too heavy and the sky was too dark to warrant staying at the window. Still, I didn't want to go back to my room. I looked through the glass that ran up the outer wall of the stairwell, not that there was much more to see than anything down by the door. I reached a hand out to open the window, but no. I came up with a plan, and I came back to my room to get what I needed. I don't seriously think anything will come of it, but I'm bored and things have been really odd lately. I came back to get my webcam. The cord isn't long enough to reach the second floor by any means, so I'm going to hide it on a small table. Now I just need to check the door. Nothing happened, which was disappointing. I watched the webcam on my computer, seeing the hallway outside my door and most of the stairwell. I just wished the camera's position was different so that I could see out the front door. Hey! Somebody's online! I got out an older webcam to video chat with my friend online. It felt good to see another person's face. We didn't talk very long or about anything meaningful, but there was something odd about our conversation. He was very vague in his responses, no particular names, places, or events, but he did ask for my email address to keep in touch. Ooh, an email! I just got an email from Amy that asked me to meet her for dinner at the place we usually go. I still feel ridiculous about all this. I should destroy this journal when I get back. Oh, another email. Oh my god. I almost left the email open and opened the door. I almost opened the door, but I read the email first. It was from a friend I hadn't heard from in a long time, and it was sent to a huge number of emails. It had no subject. What is that even supposed to mean? Is it a desperate email sent just as something happened? I can't help but think back on the last few days. I haven't seen another person with my own eyes or talked to another person face to face in a while. The webcam conversation with my friend was so weird now that I think about it. The random wrong number that got my name and the subsequent strange return call from Amy. The friend that asked for my email address. I messaged him first when I saw him online, and then I got my first email a few minutes after that conversation. Wait! That phone call with Amy! I said over the phone, I said I was within a half an hour's walk of 7th Street. They know I'm near there. What if they're trying to find me? Where is everyone else? Why haven't I seen or heard anyone else in days? This is absolutely crazy. I need to calm down. This needs to end. Amy. I feel so much better. She was really worried about me and apparently had been trying to contact me since the last time I talked to her. She's coming over now, and yes, she knows where I am without me telling her. I feel so embarrassed. I am definitely throwing this journal away before anyone sees it. I don't even know why I'm writing it now. Maybe it's just because it's the only contact I've had with anyone since... I don't even know when. I looked in the mirror earlier, too. I look gross and just generally unhealthy. These past few days have not been normal. Maybe it's just circumstance. I probably missed seeing other people because I happen to go out when it's late at night, or the middle of the day when everyone is gone. Everything's perfectly fine. I know that now. I'm glad Amy's the only one that knows about all this. She's been my best friend for years. I often think about when we first met in a park when we were teenagers, and we... Finally! A knock on the door. I thought it was odd that I couldn't see her through the camera I had on the table. I forgot to plug in a microphone, too, so I had to go to the door to talk to her.
Hey.
Sorry about the webcam outside. The last few days have been really strange.
Must have. Open the door, John.
Hey, humor me a second here. Tell me one thing about us. Just prove to me you're you.
Alright. We met randomly at a playground when we were both way too old to be there.
God, I'd been so ridiculous. Of course it was Amy. The day we met wasn't anywhere in the world except in my memory. I'd never ever mentioned it to anyone. If there was some unknown force trying to trick me, there was no way they could know about that day. I looked like hell, but she would understand. I went to put my hand on the doorknob. So ridiculous. I almost opened it, but I thought about one thing. The old webcam. The one I used for that eerie chat with my friend. Its lens pointed at the table where my journal lay. A terror took me as I realized that if something could see through that camera, it would have seen what I had just wrote about that day. I asked her for any one thing about us, and she chose the only thing in the world that I thought they, or it, did not know. But it did! It did know! It could have been watching me the whole time! I didn't hear Amy's voice through the door. Was the door too thick? Or was Amy not outside? What could have been trying to get in? What's out there? I saw her on my computer through the webcam. I heard her through the door, but was it real? How can I know? At least I think it's Friday. I broke everything electronic. Everything I gave out since this started. My name, my email, my location. None of it came back from outside until I gave it out. I've been going over and over what I wrote and pacing back and forth. Sometimes I'm absolutely certain something is dead set on getting me to go outside. Back to the beginning with the phone call from Amy. She was effectively asking me to open the door and go outside. I keep thinking. I never opened the window on the 3rd floor. I never opened the front door until that incredibly stupid stunt with the hidden camera, after which I ran straight to my room and slammed the door. I haven't opened my own door since I flung open the front door of the building. Whatever's out there, if anything's out there, never made an appearance in the building before I opened that front door. Maybe the reason it wasn't in the building already was that it was elsewhere getting everyone else, and then it waited until I betrayed my existence by trying to call Amy, a call which didn't work until it called me and asked me my name. Terror overwhelms me every time I try to fit the pieces of this together. That email, short, cut off. Was it from someone trying to get word out? Seen with my own eyes. Don't trust them. Exactly what I've been so suspicious of. It could have control of all things electronic, trying to trick me outside. Why can't it get in? It knocked on the door. It is a physical thing, right? If there is some entity trying to get me to go outside, maybe it can't get through the doors. I keep thinking back over all the books I've read or movies I've seen, trying to think of some explanation for this. Maybe the door is just too thick? I know that I couldn't bash through any of the doors in this building, let alone the heavy basement ones. Aside from that, the real question is, why does it even want me? If it just wanted to kill me, it could do it any number of ways, including just waiting until I starve to death. What if it doesn't want to kill me? What if it has something much worse for me? God, what can I do to escape this nightmare? I told the people on the other side of the door I need a minute to think and I'll come out. At least this time I heard their voices. My paranoia, and yes, I recognize I'm being paranoid, has me thinking of all sorts of ways that their voices could be faked electronically. They could be nothing but speakers outside, simulating human voices. Did it really take them 3 days to come talk to me? Amy is supposedly out there with 2 policemen and a psychiatrist. His claim could be pretty convincing if I decided to think this has been a crazy misunderstanding and not some entity trying to trick me into opening the door. I have every reason in the world to let all of my fears go and open the door. That's exactly why I'm not going to. How can I be sure? How can I know what's real and what's deception? All of these damn things with their wires and their signals that come from unseen origins. They're not real. I can't be sure. It's bashing on the door. It's trying to get in. At least I'll finally see it with my own eyes. There's nothing for it to trick me with. I've ripped apart everything else. It can't deceive my eyes, can it? Wait, the camera and my eyes. They're both light and electrical signals. They're the same. I can't be deceived. I have to be sure. I have to be sure. I asked for paper and a pen until it finally gave them to me. Not that it really matters or that I'll poke my eyes out. I figure this will be one of my last chances to write legibly. Without my sight to correct my mistakes, my hands will slowly forget the motions involved. I sit against the padded wall day in and day out. The entity brings me food and water. It fakes conversations in the hallway as a nurse or doctor. None of it gets to me, not like she does. The thing that comes to me, pretending to be Amy, it sounds exactly like Amy, feels exactly like her. It told me that she loved me, that it didn't understand why I did this, that we could still have a life together. If only I would stop insisting that I was being deceived. It wanted me to believe, no, it needed me to believe that she was real, but in the end it was all too perfect. The false Amy used to come every day, and then every week, and then finally stopped coming. But I don't think the entity will give up. I will resist it for the rest of my life, if I have to. If it needs me, maybe, just maybe, I can stop it. I love you too, Amy. I will never give in. I am a hero.
The patient is completely delusional.
Oh yes, a sane man would have fallen for the deception long ago.